Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a chill and lovely Sunday. Glad to be here. I see there's been some conversation going on in the chat, which I want to remind you all to switch over from top chat to live chat. Because YouTube defaults you to seeing only the chats it decides, and I'd like you all to be able to communicate with one another, as you already are, as well as with me. Doug said Sunday streams in this economy? It's more likely than you think. Shark said, let's get this stream going. It's going. We're here. Shark also says, I've been up all night playing games, so hopefully I don't pass out too early into the stream. Well, hopefully you don't. Or I hope you get the rest that you need when you need it, though. Doug says sharks really do be gaming. Blind Shark says, Certified Shark Gaming. Playing Ni no Kuni for like 7 hours straight. I have not played Ni no Kuni, but I have watched Let's Plays of it. It looks like a fun experience. Bill says, hello, comrades. The star is filling up. You know, as a matter of fact, I think I forgot to actually put the last campfire onto the star this week. It'll be there next week. I forgot all about that. Game Shark. Bill says I used to have one of those for my Game Boy. Shark was saying, I think I was playing the newest one, Revenant Kingdom. I know nothing about the Ni no Kuni series, really. It's been so long since I watched the Let's Play of the first game. Bill says, I had a Game Shark accessory which lets you input codes for infinite XP and money. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen one of those cheat devices. Hello and welcome, Zero. Hope you're having a chill and lovely Sunday. Glad you could join us. I'm gonna pop into Staxel. Okay, so what we have planned for today is we're gonna start off with Staxel, do our usual end of game, start of game thing where we build a little something. And last time we built this little campfire. And this time we're gonna light it. Get an axe to chop it. That's fine. And we'll put the little fire right there. The campfire has been lit. We have made the last campfire, and I was thinking we could make one of the little embers and just have them maybe on this little rock here, kind of standing by the fire. I think that would be a good way to deal with that. Let me just pull up a... Doug says that really is a campfire, maybe even the last one. Only time will tell. Why not in the log? In what log? You want to put the ember in the fire? On the log? That might be hard to do given the size of what I'm making. I might even need to just put it on the ground behind. Let me pull up my image of... Where was it? The last campfire. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna do this. Then we are gonna build our portal to the game Minute of Islands. I wanna thank thank the person who donated the game to me. One of the Patreon members who donates to my channel donated this game to me, and I saw it, and it had reminded them of The Last Campfire. You know, very similar style of game in their opinion, and so I decided to stream the game this week. I thought it would be a nice continuation. It looks like a really fascinating game, and it kind of deals with a theme of ecological disaster and how to handle it, so I thought we'd talk about that today. So yeah, I want to thank that person again for the donation, and yeah, if you're also in a place to do so, you know, Patreon link is in the description down below. Only if you're in a financial place to do so. Any donations are appreciated. If games are donated, I will consider streaming them if they're suitable. And if you can provide a financial donation, it will go a long way to helping the channel. So, with that out of the way, let's build our little ember. Shark says props to whoever donated the game. Yeah, it was really generous, and it was very unexpected, so thank you again to that person. Shark asked, how's everybody doing today? I'm doing well. Kind of just chilling out here. Very excited about checking out this new game. But what we're gonna do first, like I said, is we're gonna build an ember. So I need a black block for the feet. This will do. Honestly, this blue works, and I will need a type of brown for the bag. I wonder if this would work. I have to see how that would look. But if not that, then... if not, then that would work. Okay. So we're just gonna put our little ember. We're not gonna make them too big. We'll just do something like this. You know, even that might be too much. And we'll do like... 3 layers of that. That blue like that. Let's do 4 layers of the blue like that. And this will be where we put the hands. And we will do a 5th layer right above the hands. And we'll come up the sides now. 1, 2, 3. We'll do like 4 up the side. And then there's the little, like, hood part that I wonder how I could do. need a white block of some kind. Try that. One more layer up. And they kind of have this like weird pattern on their forehead, but I don't know if there's enough space to really do that to the full extent that I'd like. But what we can do instead is switch to a different white block. Maybe something like that, like a gray actually, to differentiate, and put that there, that there. And then it comes up into like a little point on either side. And we've got our little ember. Now we just need the little bag. And I want to see if I can make it look kind of like a string for the bag out of these. Then we can kind of put the bag on the side here. It won't attach like that. Okay, so break that then, and we'll put the bag on the side kind of thing. Be his little bag like that. And then there you go. Our little ember with the little bag that they had. What do we think? How's that look? Let me catch up with chat. Hello Jaguar. Hope you're having a chill and lovely Sunday. Glad you could join us. High fives to the person who donated the game. I agree. Thank you for that again. Let's see. Everybody's saying hi. Jaguar says, how's the pond project going? Zero says, it's a garden, not a pond. The old owner had a pond, and they used a big plastic liner for it. They got rid of it and filled in the pond and basically buried the liner. My wife's working on the garden today. I'm making tamales and meal prepping. Oh, that sounds so good. But what do we think of our ember here? I think I'm satisfied with that. I think that's pretty good. Jaguar says the ember is fire. Doug says it's an ember if I've ever seen one, and I... Fair enough, fair enough. The colors make me think of Batman. That's really funny. What about the blue makes you think of Batman? So for today's game, I was trying to think about what to make for a portal. Because there's not really a, I guess, obvious thing to put out there. But I was thinking that what I could do is, since the theme is going to be centered around ecological disaster and kind of like this almost post-apocalyptic, or in the process of apocalyptic, like space of islands. I was actually thinking about making like a little island and then having it with like a trash portal almost. And we can see based on the game what the message is with it, and see if that kind of is something we would fix up or, you know, add to as we play the game and get to see more of like what the message is. But to start us off with, I think that would work. But I was wondering if there was any kind of like trash type things. I also know there's like an algae thing in the game, so I could use this cave algae to put somewhere. And use the wild fairy grass as well to kind of symbolically show that. Garbage island. I mean, when you're talking about the type of ecological disaster that we're looking at, I mean, that kind of makes sense, right? Where trash is going to be everywhere. We already see that kind of thing in the ocean right now, so why not? Not the UK, the other garbage island. That's funny, Shark. Zero said Batman used to have the gray costume with the dark blue trim. Oh, right. I haven't thought about that in a really long time. What kind of thing could we use for, like, trash? Wasn't there, like, a bunch of trash bags that, like, Oscar had us clean up at one point that we had to sweep up when we played this game? I don't know, it's from a long time ago. Let me look up trash. There's trash cans. There is garbage. Oh, plastic rings. Empty bottles. Tin cans. Yeah, this is what we're talking about. An apple core. More algae. There we go. I actually need, like, to make an island too. So, let's use this purple moongrass. That works. and we'll just ride off the coast here. Hello and welcome, Duke. Hope you're having a chill and lovely Sunday. Duke says my mind is an empty bottle and tin cans. I hope not. I hope not. But in all seriousness, Duke, it's good to have you here. Jaguar said, "Dang it, Oscar." Yeah, y'all remember Oscar? Been a while. It's been a long time since we interacted with Oscar. Doug says Tara about to do the fastest human caused climate disaster game. I'm not causing it. Not me. Just trying to make a little, like, island off the coast here. Doesn't have to be something big. Doug says you're not causing it, you're only planning it out, enacting the plan, and filling the ocean with garbage. I am just making a portal to the other game, okay? And that involves me creating a little section of that game world in our world here in Staxel. So I am merely creating the conduit to potentially fix things, okay? I'm not creating the disaster. Trying to fix the problem, okay? Duke says speedrunning climate disaster is just real life. That's true. That's unfortunately true. I sometimes really wish Staxel had the ability to let you select multiple blocks to place. Like, just let me place like 5 blocks in a row. Almost done with our little island, and then we'll make our little trash circle. Also, for the record, I hope that it's not taken in any way, shape, or form that I'm calling this game trash. It's just the theme is around like an algae taking over a territory, and there's lots of trash everywhere in the space because it's dealing with the reality of an ecological disaster and the crisis surrounding that. So I'm trying to kind of stick true to the theme of the game. And if the game has us heal things, we can actually adjust things once we reach that point. Put some of this to kind of represent some of the algae stuff that's in the game, kind of encroaching on the coast. Oh, am I genuinely not able to place the trash stuff? I might have to place it on top of something. It's not... Well, this is like ground. Why wouldn't I be able to... Do I need to like put it on a table or something? No, it's letting me place it. It's not letting me place it. Interesting. Staxel doesn't want you to pollute. True. Very true. I genuinely can't place it. So we're just gonna have to use the algae stuff. And I actually like the idea of this not being, like... perfectly shaped. Is there a way I can put anything inside here? Let's see what else we got. If not, I think this is pretty decent. I can place this, this might actually be... Ooh, I kind of like that, actually. There we go. Let me catch up with chat, and then we'll switch over to the next game. What did I miss? What did I miss? Zero says, wasn't Oscar a narc or something? He was like an undercover police that had like a secret prison under his house, and even though he was talking about taking out the trash and cleaning up the trash in the town, really, really not the best. Duke says, I read that. Duke says, fitting that you'd walk on water on this day. Yeah. In a video game. Shark said, Duke's been macrodosing on microplastics. Haven't we all? There's been pretty much microplastics in everything. Duke says, that's how I became macroplastic and survived global warming. Zero says, Tara is one of the 100 companies contributing over 70% of emissions. Yes, me alone. I am one of the 100 companies. In a world where corporations are people, you know, somebody's got to be doing it. Let's see. Duke says, but then how will you get carpal tunnel if you don't have to click for every square? Good one. Yeah, I gotta completely damage my hands in order to actually make things in this game. Doug says, I'm fixing the problem, she says, piling the 5th plastic ring onto the island. I can't actually place the plastic rings. It won't let me. Duke says, what a bizarre and implausible fantasy setting to escape from reality. It's a little too real, isn't it? Shark says, speaking of garbage, have you all heard about conservatives boycotting Bud Light? No, I haven't. And I'm sure you'll tell us all about it. Zero says, Staxel doesn't want you to pollute. What are conservatives permanently boycotting these days? Duck says, any gun manufacturer. Shark says, I'm hoping they do a good drink next. Ill said, is this related to algae bloom in the news a while ago? It could quite well be. Duke said, everything's a little too real these days. Reality's become so much of a performance, it's actually kind of creepy. But yeah, I think this is a good place to move on to our next game. Let us pop into our little wormhole and head right over there. And we have arrived. Welcome everybody to Minute of Islands. So yeah, this title screen is kind of what I was gonna go for in terms of things with like having the trash on the island and everything. But, you know, we'll deal with the algae side of things. It worked out. I'm happy with it. Doug said, to be fair, life has always been a performance, at least just in terms of interacting with any person. People are just too good at it nowadays. But yeah, we're getting meta at our own meta. Duke says, I'm reminded of Jessie Gender's most recent vid where she is talking about how in Star Trek the eugenics war led to World War III as a wild and implausible near future. Wait, she was talking about how it was implausible that we'd end up going from the eugenics war to World War III? Shark says, so Bud Light did a promo thing with a trans woman and conservatives lost their mind. It's so frustrating. Because on the one side of things, you have these really, really hyper-conservative types that are, like, don't want to deal with any social deviation from their perceived reality of everybody being cis-het, white people. And, not wanting to acknowledge that other people and experiences exist outside of their own. But then on the other side, you've got the corporate advertising that is basically saying, we just want to sell products to literally everybody. Like, we've reached a point where it's financially lucrative enough to spend millions and billions of dollars behind the scenes to influence laws and politicians in order to make it so that conservative laws like the ones we just talked about are passed. But in our media advertisements, we want everybody's money. So we're gonna kind of have, like, the rainbow capitalism and everything on the surface, with that other kind of more overtly fascistic conservatism kind of as the background piece to all that, with the laws being passed and the media that's being put out there, and it's just it's so frustrating. But yeah, let me get back. Jaguar says, is the new game kind of solar punk or more eco-devastation? Sorry, I might have missed some of the explanation. So, I don't fully know, but what I've gathered from this is that this takes place in a world where, some sort of ecological disaster has taken hold, and there's an algae kind of infecting everything. And it's kind of dealing with somebody trying to process and deal with that. And so, dealing with the ecological disaster. I don't think it's more in the solar punk vein. Duke's, let's see. Shark says, Kid Rock shot a bunch of cans and some other people took videos of themselves throwing away all their Bud Light cans. Oh, that's wonderful. The greatest protest you can do is by throwing out the thing you bought. Okay. Duke says sarcasm is hard to see on text. If you watched her vid, it makes more sense. Okay, I'd have to take a look. Jaguar says, oh no, the libs and dems got their favorite beer. What a world. Got to their favorite beer. What a world we live in. Zero said the conservatives are always looking the boots of capitalism, but when capitalism does what capitalism is going to do, they freak out. I mean, yeah, what it's really about for a lot of that on the surface is just, we want to quote-unquote accept everybody because we want everybody to spend money on our product. It's not actual acceptance. It's not a social, norm. Like, it's not socially good. But, like, on the one hand, it normalizes it in a good way, and so from that perspective, I'm fine with it. But we all know that that's just about kind of including as many people as possible at the table so that more people will spend money on the products that are supportive rather than, or at least on the surface supportive, rather than in other places. Jaguar says, yep, we're talking, taking over. Conservative nightmare. Oh yeah, totally. Doug says, no, I do not exist, Duke. Sorry, I am an algorithm designed to make silly jokes and offer okay emotional support sometimes. Well, you know what, Doug? That's better than most algorithms these days. Okay, here we go. We got a content warning, so that's a good start. Minute or minute of, is it minute or minute of Islands is a game that deals with complex themes such as trauma, anxiety, and destructive behavior towards oneself and others. The game also uses images and languages which may be triggering or disturbing to some. Mo's journey is her story alone and not intended to be a universal depiction of people affected by these issues. Okay, fair enough. Is it bad that when Doug just said what he said, my brain went straight to the doctor from Voyager and was like, state the nature of your emotional emergency. Doug said the algorithm was also made in 2 hours after the creator had been awake for 18 hours. Oof. Those are some real feelings. So, content warnings out there. Hopefully we can still keep this a chill experience while we're going through these complex issues, as we typically do on this channel. So, but if anybody needs to step away, by all means, don't feel pressured to stay, and what have you, if something triggers you, affects you, and if you do need to talk about it in the chat a little bit, by all means, feel free to do so. We can take a quick pause if anybody needs it. I think we're in a small enough space in terms of people that that can happen.
Four brothers. Safan, Bagan, Unde, and Afla, bound by eternal purpose.
Also, hello and welcome, Jalix. Thanks for joining us. Don't worry if you're not saying much. Glad to have you here. Yeah, I noticed the subtitles were in German.
Named Mo.
I gotta see if I can change that or not.
Mo has learned to sleep under the hissing tubes and the ever-humming chambers. The pumping cylinders give her comfort, the drumming of a job well done. Nothing startles her more than silence. There is no rest for the apprentice.
Okay, I gotta see if we can switch the language on this, because Jalix, you can read that? That's good, because I can't. Jalix, please guide me through the menu, if you can, to try to get me to the language option. I found it. I did it. Thank you. We here on this channel randomly have language changes. That was funny. I'm getting series Adventure Time vibes from the graphics. Let me see what I missed in chat. Apologies about the subtitles being in German if your only language is English. However, you know, we had a moment where we were able to give Jalix a time to shine. Jaguar says emotional support algorithm equals shows you cute vids and pictures of animals. Doug says it's true, I do send a lot of cute videos of animals. Jaguar says keep them coming. Jaguar says Shark's been sending a lot of animal pics and vids lately. That is true. Shark says Tara, just translate the German for us. Jeez. Yes, let me access my my internal programming and just teach myself German right this minute. Zero says between Shark and Doug we should have no problems with morale on the server. 100% true. Duke says I liked Adventure Time. Doug says I'm pretty sure Apocalypse is canon in Adventure Time. And Duke says yeah, World War III, which leads to the Lich King. True. Let's... Photographs. Many are of Mo's sister, Miri. Keepsakes from the surface. Down here is not a good place to keep a pet. Drawings, layouts, and blueprints. Rudimentary tools for Mo's tinkering. You picked up the Omni Switch. Hold right trigger to draw the Omni Switch. It'll always point you to your next objective like a compass and will give you access to the machines of the giants. Shark says, I gotta watch Adventure Time again. It's been years. Yeah, it's been a long time for me as well, and I never finished the series, so... Doug says, Mo is just me for real. I too have rudimentary tools for tinkering. Duke says, machines for the giants. Yeah, that's interesting. But I'm not sure what that means. Shark says, Mo do be tinkering, though. Mo do be tinkering. An attempt to bring some life to this place. Doug says I haven't watched it since it came out. What was it, like 2010 or something? Yeah, it was definitely, oh, there's a run. Yay, run button. It was definitely earlier than I feel like it should have been. So you're telling me Adventure Time is like 13 years old? Also, re-watching some clips of that, Princess Bubblegum is terrifying. I feel like I gotta re-watch that with that perspective in mind, that Princess Bubblegum is not a hero.
Mo has done so much around here. Repaired and watched and built, but in this deathly silence, she is once more taunted by the one thing she will never be able to do. Their engineering can be studied and replicated, but their strength they selfishly keep. Despite all the wiring and the manufactured tubes, the engines are powered by physical force. But the kind that no mere human could ever muster.
I'm getting a serious vibe that, like, the giants are, like, the power of... I mean, I'm already looking at it through the lens that I know, right? And so to me, what I'm seeing is a regular human can't stand up against the might of these giant corporations who can wield the economy like these giant tools. That's what I'm getting right off the top of my head. Like, we can engineer ways to, like, maneuver some of the stuff, but by ourselves, it's, you know, these are still giants that have way more power than we do.
Safan. He was always the weakest of the four. He is struggling to breathe. Even Mo can taste the stale air in her mouth. It seems the ventilation system isn't working properly, but nothing does without the engine.
Can we eat the giants, though? I don't know. We'll find out. Duke says PB was sort of messed up. Visit the observatory and make sure the other three brothers are still functioning. I could be completely wrong of my interpretation, too. But we'll find out. PB was sort of messed up and the center of everything until she gets a girlfriend, and apparently that calms her down. Well, I mean, she was a tyrant and a dictator. Like, she made servants for herself. She controlled their lives, she manipulated them, and whenever they would act out against her or try to, like, assert free will, she basically just put them in their place. Doug says I just experienced time in ears based on the significant things that happen in my life. Sure. Doug says, helps clarify context for me. You can eat everything, just sometimes only one. I also could, you know, have things completely backwards here. We'll figure it out. Zero says you can eat almost anything if you try and you believe in yourself. Shimmying across, letting go. What is that?
Without power, the observatory is not much use.
The flesh pocket. That just sounds gross. Use the Omni switch to reroute emergency power to the observatory. That sounds like some Star Trek stuff right there. Rerouting emergency power. How do I reroute power? I didn't go to Starfleet Academy. That's probably for the best, Shark. Okay,
It
we
hits
rerouted
Mo like a
emergency
punch
power.
to the chest. It is all four of them. They all broke at the same time. Failed at the same time. Something grave must have occurred. But what?
Inspect the surface to investigate what made the ventilation system shut down. How am I breathing without a ventilation system? Doug said you put the scoring disc in the flip-flop. Obviously. Sarah said after you reroute emergency power, you should also reverse the polarity of the flux capacitor. I'm detecting tachyon particles. Duke said this is a weird technology world. I agree. I don't know what's going on at the moment. Everything is unclear.
Without the veil, the air is too toxic to breathe. And just as Moore feared, the vents have all shut.
Okay.
The poison is kept out. But so is the oxygen. Safan is slowly suffocating, and the other three may have it worse.
Okay. What did I do, Rob? Okay. Now there's a whale. Doug said if I were in this world, I personally wouldn't have made all my technology out of meat. That's just me, though. Shark says, from the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me. What is that a reference to? Duke says, some design choices were certainly made. Duke asked, are we inside of a whale? I'm not sure. I don't know what to make of any of this at this point. Chapter 1, Safan, Part 1, The Island of Bowen.
It shows all 3 purifiers are down, as if more needed any confirmation beyond the spores in the air. This is on you, Safan. Mo grunts. Pray it is not too late for me to fix your mess.
Okay. Restore 3 air purifiers located on the neighboring island of Bewa. It can't be good to be breathing in those spores. A filthy chair with her uncle's behind him printed onto it. Jaguar says, I like the colors, and yeah, I agree. It has hard Adventure Time vibes. Zero says, we might say we all live in a giant cosmic whale called the universe. Shark said, from the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh refers to a monologue on the topic of transhumanism, said by Magus Dominus Redditus in the teaser trailer for the 2018 video game Warhammer 40,000. I know nothing about Warhammer. Duke says, I guess Safan is an irresponsible person. Doug says, yum, microplastic spores. There's a lot of dead fish here. This is where that smell was coming from. I can imagine. That must stink. At least the spores did not spoil the crustaceans. Duke said there are a lot of toxic things we all breathe in all the time. Duke also said, well, would you expect them to be alive if they were hung outside of the water? No, it's just... What are they doing with all these fish? Like, why are we hanging fish on the outside? Like, I'm confused. Zero said, as far as the spores go, they're not that bad. Doug says, true, like everything a car produces we breathe in. Zero said, not as bad as asbestos. Depends on what the spores are, to be honest. Doug said, maybe curing them, that's how they use to dry cure fish. Yeah, but, like, there's seagulls ripping them apart. And, like, half of their flesh is missing. Also, hello and welcome, Andre. Hope you're having a chill and lovely Sunday. They're drying and salting them to last longer. Mo had never been interested in fishing, sitting around doing nothing. Some parts of her uncle's extensive collection. Are we gonna meet her uncle? Duke said maybe the people are all gone now. Maybe. Like Mo, these bottled messages never leave these islands. Andre says, hello, first time here. Well, welcome. Glad you could join us. That seagull is missing a leg. Like, these seagulls do not look okay. Doug said maybe they were just proud of the fish and wanted to show them off. remember I can run. That's...
The smell made it clear. It died a long time ago. And now, the spores are taking hold of whatever remains. A better fate than the fungus eating you alive.
Doug said chomping on the whale carcass, just seagull things. True. Gonna just move past that. That seagull just took off without flapping its wings. Jaguar says, oh dang, die whale. Yeah, poor whale. Powered up our ship.
Do not worry. I will fix your mess, and I will save our homes. Moore reassures herself.
It's made a kraken. Are you sure you want to start your journey and leave the island of Bone? I don't know. I think so. Are we ready? Are you all ready? Shark says The Last of Us fish dish. Jaguar said that seagull's on another level. It's true, it doesn't even need wings to fly. Andre says seagulls get a lot of hate, but they are actually pretty important because they help cycle biomass between the land and the aquatic habitats. They also like stealing, which is based. Very true. They are actually really important, so I'm glad you did bring that up. Thank you for sharing that. Duke says nothing like fleshy machines. Yeah, we're gonna go. Achievement unlocked. Onward. Also, is that ship moving backwards? Jaguar says, I love the font choice they made for this game. Very readable, and oh my god, the menu was
More
large and
shudders.
obvious.
She knows the damage the spores are capable of. The fungus first poisoning the mind, then ever so slowly, consuming the body. How it will spoil the verdant soil and obscure the midday sun.
And the subtitles are also very readable. Yeah, a lot of games definitely use too small font or clashing colors sometimes, so it is kind of nice. I completely agree with you. What are these spores exactly? Why are we, like, without a mask or something?
Despite all of its dangers, more frequently inhales the poison. An occupational hazard, she calls it. A sacrifice others weren't willing to make.
Oh my god. Andre says this game is fungophobic. Mushrooms did nothing wrong.
A
Leave them
few
alone.
violent coughs, a few eerie apparitions, won't keep her from doing her job. After all, she is the bearer of the Omni-Switch.
Doug says if it damages her mind, I wonder if like any single thing we see is real. That's a really good question. We could be in straight hallucination mode. Andre says this is just a big shroom trip and we are just at Woodstock. Zara says sounds like essential workers during COVID. They had to risk exposure. True.
Before the Great Exodus.
The Great
Now
Exodus.
just a pile of broken things and abandoned ideas. The island hosts the Purifiers, guarding Safan's domain. And not much else anymore.
Doug says, holy smokes, Andre, you might just be right. We have arrived. Jaguar says, I need to know which font these folks used in the game. It makes me happy. Also, I have to collect 12 somethings. We have arrived. And are we welcome? Hello, jellyfish ghost.
The children used to all come here together. Miri, Moore, their friends, for the seaberry jam, the scarecrows and the rides. And then the Exodus happened.
Okay, but what caused the Exodus? Exodus of whom? Locate and restart the first of the 3 air purifiers to eventually cleanse Bewa.
The smell of sea berries fills her nostrils. Or is it a scent lingering in her memories?
Poison in the air takes some animals quicker than others. I have a silly question. Is there a way to make running the default? No. Okay. It just seems a little, like, needless to have to force me to hold down a button. Not that it's, like, hard for me to do so, but if somebody had an ability issue in terms of, like, holding or pressing a button for an extended period of time, it'd be nice to just have an auto-run feature. And tape down the run button. I'm not too bothered by it, personally. Just thinking about it from a design standpoint.
Her uncle's estate. He should be inside, with the windows shut and doors locked.
And yet...
Moore's heart skips a beat. Either the fungus got to him, or he is somewhere out there, fiddling with the purifiers himself.
Years of unopened letters Mo can relate. The oven is still warm and smells of fresh bread. Someone left in a hurry. They forgot to turn the cooker off. So many bottles, but just one seat. Family pictures, only a few of them with Mo in them. Her uncle is still waiting for his dog to come back. Well, he didn't die here. Her uncle's toolbox is missing. Memory, come here.
Moore remembers every one of these masks, the people who once wore them, the lingering memories of people, in one way or another, now gone.
So why doesn't she wear one? Not a worry in the world. Cheers. Okay, I can't go that way yet. Was there more stuff on the other side of the house? I don't feel like I fully explored the left side of the house. Doug said I leave for 2 minutes and see that we're now in Scarecrowsville.
Moore's uncle owned this place. He still somehow does. One ride was 2 coins, back when money still meant something.
It smells of candy floss, popcorn, and frying fat. What remains of tasty slushies of her youth? Mo doesn't have a coin to operate it.
The machine looks intact. It is resting, waiting for a spark.
Now I'm wondering if I should have gone the other way first. Barry the Seabury boy, a hit with the visitors. Zero asks, is that a sans serif font? I wouldn't know. I know nothing about fonts like that. I used to actually know a lot more. I just haven't looked at stuff in a while. You know what? We'll proceed forward this way, and then if we can. That is an eerie sound. Okay, we can keep proceeding this way. I don't know if I should have gone looking for the uncle first, or if I should have gone this way. I'm gonna go the other path first. I think it makes more sense that she would have gone looking for her uncle. Jaguar says, now I'm wondering if the game uses fonts that are already designed and available, or do they design their own? Well, I feel like when it comes to designing font, usually you would purchase a created one if the game has the budget. Otherwise, you'd use like a free one that's widely available. Just rust and fish grease.
Mo never understood the appeal of bones to decorate a tourist attraction. It's authentic, her uncle would say, but he'd always dodged the question of whether the bones were from a whale or another large creature.
What kind of large creature? Wait, is that the extent of this path? If so, I'm glad I went back this way. Doug says, like, Elder Scrolls has its own in-game language, so obviously they had to make one for that. Duke said, would it have been okay if it was a whale? I mean, it depends on the reasoning, I would assume, also. Oh, I forgot I basically have a tell me where to go stick. I could have checked which way was the proper direction forward. Doug says, impressive how that kettle manages to always be filled with enough water and heat to whistle. Ooh, another memory thing. Come here. Come here. Gotcha.
Her uncle always told stories about his big plans, how people would come from far-off lands. He spent all his fortune on his dream. All that's left is the rot in the jars.
That's kind of sad. Why am I pushing this? Ah. That makes sense.
Mo dares to take a deep breath. The air still tastes foul, but the acrid poison is mostly gone. 2 more to go.
This part of the island is cleansed. Now find the 2 remaining purifiers. Okay, so we're trying to purify the air of the spores. At least that seems to be the plan, at least. Now it wants me to go down this way. Andre says, the spores that alter memories sort of remind me of the Pale from Disco Elysium. I have not played Disco Elysium. I have been told to play Disco Elysium many times. What is the Pale exactly? If it's not too spoilery. Andre says it's very spoilery. It's like the big reveal of the endgame. Okay, then yeah, please don't tell me right now. But I'll keep that in mind whenever I do play it. You have to go through a few existential crises to get there. Bill says the game is definitely chill material. You know, I'm kind of caught between feeling very chill with this game and sharing this all with you and trying to figure out what's going on, while also being kind of creeped out by the world and the environment. So I'm kind of like in between chill and just absolutely creeped out. Doug says perfect game then, to be honest.
He didn't want kids sneaking around, breaking things, or adults stealing things. But more was always welcome here. More was family.
Okay, that's one path. Okay. Oh, okay. That just loops around. I see. I see what that was. Duke says the dangerous sports remind me of Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind. Another game I have not played? Is that a game, Nausicaa? Maybe it'll open from the inside, find another way to get to the other side. It's a Ghibli move. Oh, right. I haven't... Have I watched... I've watched that one, haven't I? I'm trying to remember which one that is. I'm gonna look that up super quick. Jaguar says we watched it on the server. We've watched so many Ghibli movies on the server. I just have to remember which one that is. Give me 1 second. Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind. I remember that one. That was the one with the giant bug creature. Jaguar says, I came back from reading on the history of garlands. I heard Ghibli and it came running back. Duke says the ohms. Yeah, I could see how this reminds you of that. Especially with the spores. I'm just trying to figure out like, what the spores are and what's going on here. I'm assuming I have to push this to be able to grab the anchor thing. Nice. Now we're able to get up here. Which should allow me to now open the gate. Duke said the spores are anarchism. This game is actually a pro-monarchy parable. That is the opposite of what I would hope.
Moore remembers the heat on her tongue and fingers, as she snuck a taste of the steaming sweet-sour jam. For weeks after, she'd carry a little teaspoon so she wouldn't have to wash her hands.
Some of these bunnies are funny-looking, squirrel-looking critters are looking a little chill hanging out next to some of their fellow dead squirrel bunny rabbit things. The fungus has already taken too many victims today.
The old man and his locks, protecting his property, as if a crowd might wander once again.
He was tasting his own product here.
Moore takes in the sour scents of the fermented berries, deeply curious to know their taste.
Jack is locked with a heavy padlock. Her uncle harpooned this one himself. Probably fakes, like many of the artifacts on this island. Every man needs a hobby. Big game fishing is her uncle's.
Moore remembers excitedly showing everyone who would humor her the sounds and rhythms of the machine underneath the land. Her uncle always stayed the longest, watching her face light up the little dark holes inside. The old wood groans, dreaming of past revolutions, resolute to be a solution once more, before turning to dust.
That felt like an important metaphor, and I don't even know how to address it entirely. I'm just gonna check the other path though quick. I feel like my sense of which path I'm not supposed to take isn't exactly working in this game. Like, you know how in most games it's like, don't take the obvious path forward, always go down a side path so you get the secrets? Kind of feels like I don't know which path is the side path.
Moore remembers the first time she saw the farmer, singing a song as he lit a candle by this tree. She didn't understand what he meant until later, that things are only gone when they are forgotten.
Duke says I too find it easy to remember my childhood when I jump up and down. Do you also catch little ghost critters that come out of the things that you're trying to remember things about? Andre says shakes the memory loose. Basically, that's what's happening here. Doug said this is all side paths. Yeah, there's no progress going on here. Andre says maybe the real progress is the friends we made along the way. Do I have to turn it again? I'm assuming I have to turn it until I can use the ladder to get up. Duke says, what? I wish I could have my clothes act like a parachute. Honestly, this game is trippy in that way. It's like... I wonder what went through the developer's mind. It was like, we can't have fall damage, so... her clothing just turns into a parachute. Doug says, get better clothes then. Yeah, they sell parachute pants. I'm sure they still sell it. Duke says poverty keeps me away from parachute. Poverty is, probably part of the reason that they have parachute clothes right now. In this apocalyptic world.
The berry farmer sighs, exhausted from his struggle. Living things are his purview, not machines. So for all his troubles, all his striving to fix the machine, it simply bore no fruit. Moore frowns, her frustration growing. She warned him not to toy with the machines. Moore's uncle huffs, disappointed at his niece's rudeness. For heaven's sake, was I meant to just watch as the poisonous dust slowly settled around my island? He was meant to stay inside and wait for her to be done. His heroics were simply unneeded.
I do have a question there. Like, why is she the one with this Omni thing? And why is she the one responsible? And why is she not masking when her uncle clearly is?
Everything is responding the way that it should. Looks like the old man didn't touch anything important.
This part of the island is protected again, and find and restart the last air purifier. Clearly her uncle isn't qualified.
Relief washes over her uncle at the sight of her success. Feeling thankful and a little ashamed, he offers some seaberry wine as reconciliation. He hands over his key, a sign of his trust, and asks her to fetch them a bottle of his finest, the one tucked away in the shed.
You picked up a bottle of fine seaberry wine.
Maybe she is being too harsh on her uncle. He is only trying to help, after all. Moore considers the bottle in her hands and spending a small moment with the farmer. But too many lives are in danger. Too many things are at stake. The glass will simply have to wait.
Mo returned the wine. Oh, come on. We could have taken a moment to... time is of the essence and lives are at stake. I mean, yeah, but, I mean, I don't know, I'm kind of in agreement there, but also at the same time,
Mo used to keep
taking a
little
moment like
trinkets
that's
in this hole,
important.
until the day she reached a little too far. Her uncle always laughs as he retells the story of the proudest fish he caught, the Mo.
Where does this lead to now? Andre says something tragic's gonna happen to the uncle and Mo's gonna regret not drinking with him. I'm calling it. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Seems like the type of game where something like that would happen. Baubles and knickknacks from her uncle's travels. This is where the harder spirits are made. Nothing Mo can use. I thought I could make that jump. That looks like I can make that. I guess not. Her uncle has quite a lot of stuff. Yeah, seems to be able to make a lot of alcohol too. Looks like this is actually the path forward. I really thought this was the side path. Keep doing that. And I want to get all the memories and secrets and stuff, so... Produce enough berries and you'd start making booze too? Maybe. I mean, it's certainly a way to pass the apocalypse, right? Oh, we got a memory over here. Jaguar says in the apocalypse, I want to be friends with the person who can make alcohol so I can make tinctures. That's real. Being able to make that kind of alcohol would be very useful.
Sit at low tide, eating her sister's catch of the day, grilled on the fire, and glazed with a tiny bit of the farmer's jam. The octopus was Mo's favorite, and Millie's too.
Homemade wine can be quite nice. I've never had homemade wine. Have you, Duke?
This was once Mo's little spot, her quiet haven on Bever's shores, where Mo could be herself and analyze the giants and their things as much as she desired.
Duke says I know lots of very DIY people. I imagine that it would be really good to have some like, fresh homemade wine. I mean, fresh in the sense that it wouldn't be, like, you know what I mean. Jaguar says, Doug, true, gotta find some way to preserve / use all them berries. True, you don't want them to go to waste. Andre says it's so strange hearing people never having had homemade wine. Everyone here has an
More
uncle or
thinks of
grandpa
the
that makes
day
their own stuff.
that she left Beva. It was bittersweet, like burnt jam, stuck to the pot.
Remembering Beva. Achievement unlocked. Got all 12 memories. But Andre, I've not come across people who make wine. I've come across people who make much stronger things than wine. Wine is not exactly the go-to. So I do know what you're talking about, but it's not usually wine in places I've been. Doug says my DIY uncle mostly just makes tables or whatever. Besides, I'm not close to any of the extended family. Most of them stink anyway. That's real. Now we're getting into family drama. Jaguar says, I guess you have space and stuff. Yeah. For making the wines. Yeah, I mean, it also depends where you are, like Jaguar said. If you're in certain places, it might be a little claustrophobic to try to make something like that happen. Doug says DIY wine and alcohol is mostly for farmers anyways. Duke says my nerd friends tend to be more into the historical side, so it's often historical home crafts that they're trying to get into. Il says red wine. That's a song I haven't thought about in a long time. There's the last purifier for the island. Doug said since they had the land and the resources. Andre said it is people living in the countryside mostly doing it, yeah. Which is what I was getting at, like, a lot of people also wouldn't want to waste their time or their space on wine. They'd rather make harder things that give them what they're looking for a little bit quicker and easier. In terms of alcohol.
The half-rotten wood creaks in hunger, seeking, ready to devour.
So maybe I shouldn't be standing on that much longer. Jaguar says it's cool that folks out there by you have that sort of history in space and time. Yeah, that is a really cool thing. I wouldn't mind trying a homemade wine. Probably better than most commercial ones, I would imagine. If it's done well and right. Doesn't seem like much of a good idea to just walk through the spores like that.
I can take it, she whispers. I just need to keep moving.
That's not the best
It's not my
mentality.
first time doing this.
This doesn't bode well. Game's making me move slower, and that always does not feel good. Oh, we just hit hallucination mode. Oh my goodness, we are in hallucination mode. Andre says its sort of tradition feels ubiquitous, also makes for great bonding time in communities and connects the urban to the rural. Duke says key nice thing is they lack the preservatives like sulfites, which is good because some people are actually allergic to sulfites. Andre says some DIY
a few
people...
violent coughs, a few eerie apparitions. She has been sent to these places before.
Okay. And yet you're not putting on any sort of mask or anything. Just gonna breathe in the fumes of the particulates of these funguses. So Andre had said, oh yes, some DIY people use them and they get slandered by everyone else. Kinda don't blame them. Doug says, I'm no expert, but I think breathing in the fungus is a bad idea. Her lungs have got to be 10% mushroom by volume at this point. I'd say it's much higher, considering she's done this multiple times and clearly is getting used to the hallucinations. Duke says, well, this is freaky deaky. Yeah, that was intense. Doug says, of course that's where we fell. The game basically said you were going to. Very true. I posted a link to, I'm assuming, our Discord. And Duke says, natural immunity in quotation marks. Jaguar says, where my grandfather's from, the only job that was available to the local people was to work in a big corporation brewery where rum was shipped out, but left locals in poverty. It's unfortunate. That sounds like a factory town of sorts.
She has trained herself to escape. She just has to remember the tune.
The tune? Hello and welcome, Athena. Hope you're having a chill and lovely Sunday. Oh, I figured, Athena. But thank you for letting me know. I missed the jump. Liking the elf ears? I'm glad you enjoy the elf ears. Thank you so much. Oh, I want that. Give me. Oh, wrong order. I messed up. Urchin is the last note. Jellyfish looking one. Interesting they have you doing it in like an order. Hello. Yep, jellyfish. Come here, jellyfish. There we go. now have a key and a box. So I'm assuming I go open. You received the music key box. Nothing like getting stuck in seaweed mid-hallucination. The elf ears are a Sunday stream staple. Yeah, they've been around for a while. I first wore them because of Staxel. Because the character I was playing as was an elf, and I had the ears, and I figured, why not? And then it just kind of stuck. Doug says, I think I would enjoy the seaweed hallucination. Sounds very comfy. Zero says, hallucinating when you don't want to hallucinate is the worst. I mean, I imagine that's really scary. Chilling with the mindfish, says Doug. Jaguar says, sorry if I brought the moon down on the brewing convo. No, you didn't. Andre says, this is what my hydrobiology class would be like if I went to it zonked out of my mind. Hello, giant seaweed creature. Doug says, I mean, to be fair, my vision is mostly just floaters, it's basically perpetual hallucinations. Duke says, yeah, the unexpected ones at bad time is never pleasant. And Jaguar says, I wonder if the folks in this game harvest the seaweed like some cultures do in our time in the world.
But it feels more real than ever.
Andre says, isn't that our uncle but decomposing? I'm not sure. It looked like one of the giants. Yeah, I agree with Doug. It looked like one of the giants that created the world. There's Uncle.
Someone is shouting. I'm okay, she replies. I'm okay. She lies.
Well, I gotta get back up there and get the last purifier on.
He is glad that he found her, and he laughs off his worry for now. But unvoiced irritation sticks in his throat. He knows she will downplay it. It is routine now. The arguments they have had on repeat. About her hypocritical ways. How she doesn't wear a mask when she forces others to. How she poisons herself. He settles instead for just a few words of concern. Be careful, he smiles. Please come back in one piece. And don't forget to see after your sister. She pretends to not hear him.
Honestly, like, how are you that hypocritical when you're asking your family members to go and stay inside and be indoors and, you know, take care of themselves, and then you're not even wearing a mask while you're in front of all these spores? Jaguar says, I had also realized that my side of the stream was super behind, and I finally caught up, I think. Well, I'm glad you were able to catch up. Good to have you here at the present. Jaguar says, I think I accidentally hit pause or something at one point. It happens. Doug says, got lost in the past part of the stream there, Jaguar, or at least come back mostly in one piece. So we got all the purifiers on now. after taking our hallucination trip.
Bourne and Bever are cleansed, but the batteries won't last. It's time for Zafar to do his part.
You restarted all the air purifiers and cleansed the air on Bowen as well. Return to Bowen and enter the network below to awaken the slumbering giant. Alright. This is by the windmill. How do we then get back to the ship? Okay, I just went in a giant circle. I don't remember how to get out of here. Or how to get back to where I need to be. I need to go that way, apparently. It was near the entrance of the house. Yeah, I know. I just don't remember where the house is exactly. Okay, here's the entrance to the... where the locks were. And there's a way down here. Alright, we're slowly making our way back. Starting to recognize things again. This looks like the cliffside from near the beginning. So I'm assuming I go down here. And then I remember this now. Okay. And we made it back to the dock. All aboard the Kraken ship. Yes, let's leave for the island of Hope. Zero says you can't take care of your family and friends if you don't take care of yourself first. Yeah, I mean, if something happens to her, then what is she supposed to do if she's the only one who can control this device and seem to be able to fix things? Like, I agree, she completely needs to take care of herself first. Doug says maybe she just wants to get high, and maybe this is all they have in this universe. It seems like a poor choice to get high off of the murder spores. Zero says mushroom spores make me sneeze and get all congested. Are you allergic to them? Duke says it was near the... Oh, okay, I read that. Doug says Uncle really devised his berry farm as a maze. It certainly seems that way. Doug says, I mean, if it just murders you, if it murders you, it just makes you hallucinate harder. Just Zero says I'm allergic to most things outside. The outdoors does not sound like your friend, Zero. Though now that we've made it back to the starter island, I think this might be a good time to take a quick break. So I am gonna step away for a few minutes, and we'll resume as soon as I get back. See you all in a few minutes. Until then, enjoy this ambient noise of whatever weird sounds we're hearing right now. And we're back. What'd I miss? What'd I miss? Zero says, quick, while Tara's gone, let's clean up the environment. Oh, thank you for doing me the favor. Now I don't have to. Yoke says, I can't clean up the environment. Best thing I've got is toxic mushroom spores. Oh, dang it. I thought you were all gonna fix everything while I was gone. Doug says, I can't, no, sorry. Duke says, don't forget to clean up the environment, like and subscribe. Yes, everybody, please like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube algorithm things. It helps the channel, it does all the things. Zero says, when you're allergic to fungi, all mushroom spores are toxic. Yeah. Being allergic to mushrooms is not fun. It's also in so many foods. Like, the safe kind of mushrooms to eat.
With the spores gone, the air is allowed back in, and so is she.
Doug says, sorry we couldn't find the fix all the capitalism problems button. I mean, you should all know where that is. It's next to the revolution button. Make it happen. Doug says, I think that's the president who has that. I don't think the president has the revolution button. Why did I go back in here? Duke says just using the dead whale like a ramp, yeah? I mean, might as well. Sarah says I can eat mushrooms, I just can't breathe the spores. Are you sure you want to go below? No. No, I'm not. But we're gonna do it anyway. It's the lever attached to a trebuchet. Doug says, but don't you know the president can do everything?
When they gave her the Omni Switch, they honored and bound her. The human they chose as their apprentice, now tasked to save them all.
Okay, but why her? The air is breathable again, but you can't leave before Saffron is awake. And there's 3 things to remember here, apparently. So we'll have to be sure to be on the lookout for those memories. Duke says, did you just walk into someone's mouth? Doug says, you don't want to go down the flesh tube? No, I don't want to go down the flesh tube today. Zero says, whales are such majestic creatures. Doug says, whales are just vibing and singing. And apparently getting eaten by seagulls in this game. We be backtracking. Down we go. Back to the very start of the game. reawaken Safin so his muscles can drive.
Empty. Somewhere deep in this labyrinth, the power lines are cut.
Of course they are. That is Safan? Yeah. I don't know if we want to... Like, why do we want to do this? The vein leads to the heart chamber.
Power should flow through this capacitor, but it's not finding its way here.
Mm-hmm. Perfectly normal. Find and close the 2 interruptions in the current. Okay, here I go doing things again. I don't even understand what I'm doing anymore. Apparently, you're the apprentice to the meat machine making monster. Apparently!
The fuses blew out. Of course.
Of course. That's normal. Normal fuses. That definitely gave out. So we went down the flesh tube so we can give a very large man an artery unclogging. A bypass surgery. Did you bring a stent? No, but I brought a fuse, apparently.
What do you think will happen when you leave? Who will take your place? You are staying right here. On these forsaken rocks you call a home.
Okay. That's harsh. I mean, I don't think it's quite my problem to find my replacement. Don't mind me just moving the fuse, apparently. Oh, one of the lines is working again. The flesh fuse. There is nothing about this going to make the word flesh any more comfortable when it's being used in these contexts. It really is unsettling. I don't even know where I'm going.
A death sentence. That's what every plant brought down here will find. Things don't flower this deep underground. They wither. You can feel it yourself, can't you?
Is the narrator the voice in her head, or is the narrator another entity observing this and talking to us? Doug says, I think flesh would be a better word to use than meat, at least. I suppose? I mean, if people really want unsettling, there's a... You know what? Nope, not gonna go there. I do not want unsettling. I get the fact that this game needs to be unsettling for what it's trying to probably talk about and accomplish. At the same time, that's not necessarily what I'm actively seeking in terms of the Chill Sunday stream.
The brothers may be old, but they are not immortal.
Okay.
And neither are you.
Okay.
What will be left of you when you're gone? Only dust and crumbling bones.
I mean, basically, yeah. Zero says flesh is better than meat. Doug says, although I think meat is a much funnier word. I think you're in the legs since you went downwards from the heart. Duke says, just like many doctors, Tara, you have no idea where you're going. That's a terrifying thought as well. Zero says, the disembodied voice is a real bummer. Yeah, and like, I'm kind of wondering if that's tied in some ways to the hallucinations as well. Doug says, personally, I like the vibe of the game. I mean, it's an awesome vibe, and I'm glad I'm able to share it with y'all. I think we're making a good time out of this. Wait, do I have to approach this from the other side somehow? Okay, I see what I gotta do. Think? Yeah. Doug says, I think it's a ghost. Duke says, jellyfish memory. Zero says, way to bring down the vibe again, disembodied voice. Disembodied voice is definitely killing the mood, but so is whatever's going on here. I think on some level we're meant to be uncomfortable because I think all of this is representative of what we were kind of talking about earlier, which is climate catastrophe and some sort of ecological disaster, right? Like, it's supposed to be disturbing. What is the point of being able to come up here? Okay, stupid question. How do I get back? Is there... How do? Zero says flesh technology is the way of the future. Jack says, I don't know if she's doing a not so great job as a fatty acid, if that's what she is. Left the body twice already. Athena says, I must be desensitized. I don't find it entirely disturbing. I think that there's something disturbing about the fact that we have seen, like, dead whale flesh being eaten by seagulls. I think it's disturbing that we have a character that's been inhaling hallucinatory death spores. Doug says, I mean, neither do I really, but I also love horror as a genre and embrace the dumb shit. I mean, it is what it is. What I'm getting at there, in some level, in terms of the disturbingness, is that it's meant to invoke a feeling of discomfort on some level. Which I think is meant to embody some of the catastrophes that can and have happened when it comes to ecological disasters. Also, I really don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I think I somehow stuck myself. Like, I think I broke the game, question mark? Did I actually soft lock the game? My wand says to go left. Oh, I figured it out. I did not soft lock. I just had to turn the battery off. And then turn it back on again. I am kind of curious what's up this way. Okay, nothing new. The capacitor is now rerouting the power to the cardiac chamber. Okay. Zero says soft locks in this game, in this economy, more common than you might think. Bill says maybe the soft locks are the friends we made along the way. Alright.
Maud takes a deep breath and exhales in relief. She saved Safan from a suffocating slumber, and Beva and Vaughn from a poisonous death.
Safan is now powering the veil over these islands again. Visit Helma and awaken Bergen as well.
Safan can't keep this up for long, not without his brothers.
Doug says, oh, did Tara find a soft lock again? No, I did not find a soft lock. I thought I did, but I fixed it. Duke says, why is our civilization powered by giant monsters? I don't know. What are these spores? What is going on? Do you want to return to the surface? Yes, I do. Zero said, aren't all civilizations powered by giant monsters? No. A good number of them are, though. They're called corporations. Duke said, are the giant monsters happy to labor endlessly? Maybe? Doug says, to be fair, our civilization is powered by giant monsters known as billionaires. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much on the nose with that, and they are the ones who definitely cause the ecological disasters. But in this game, the giant creatures are trying to help, I think? So I'm not entirely sure what the metaphor is at this point in time, if there is one. We are also infected with hallucinogenic spores, i.e. capitalism. Very true. Athena says, looks like a darker version of Adventure Time. I mean, Adventure Time was pretty dark in certain ways, too.
Despite the coming fight, she can already see. The coming fight they always have. Mo will have to go home. Not just for Brother Bagan, but her sister, Miri, too.
But yeah, I had made that comparison earlier. We were talking about Adventure Time a little bit before you got here, Athena. Achievement unlocked. Save Safan. The metaphor is that flesh tubes. It's not a metaphor for anything. It's just tubes. The internet is a series of tubes. That's an old meme. That's a really old meme. A series of fleshy tubes.
The foulness in the air kept Mo from being able to pinpoint the smell. But it's clear now that she has an extra passenger, a hidden creature, smelling of rotting prey and wet fur.
Now cute little stowaway?
Mo stares at the creature, assessing its glare. She won't start a fight. She has no time to nurse an injury. It's not even doing anything. It's just sitting around.
There's a flower in a boot. Doug says, what is insulation of wires but not the flesh of the wire? Doug says that creature looks like it's gonna squeak. It does look like a little squeak.
Miri agreed to stay back home whenever Mo needed to go below, but more and more frequently. The only thing left at home
What does the ship run
are
on?
fights.
Our hopes and dreams. Doug says the ship runs on vibes and bullshit. Same thing.
Work. Who else could do the things her sister has to do? Instead of valuing Mo's sacrifice, Miri is just being a burden.
Chapter 2, Bergen. The island of Hema. You go, Seagull. Doug says I love that tentacle sound. Athena says it's a living ship. I don't know if anything's alive here. Oh, there's pumpkins and other squash-shaped things.
Miri has been diligently growing crops ever since Mo could remember. No blight could take her down. She'd always start anew. There would be lines each month for the fresh harvest.
Miri's primitive gardening tools.
Mo can hear the silence under the island's crust. Machines aching, begging her to fix them.
Athena says maybe this game is about a post-apocalyptic world after a biochemical war. I am getting the impression, while that is a perfectly valid theory, I'm getting the impression that this is meant to represent an ecological disaster of some kind, produced by climate change. I could have sworn that would have been a memory spot. Looks like we need to get 2 purifiers on this island.
Mo had always found small spots comforting. Young Mo would squeeze herself into little caves and find their hidden secrets. Few others are interested in such mundane mysteries.
Down we go. And that connects back to the start, correct? Yes. Great. Hello, chicken.
Which one are you? Polo? Rudy? Maybe Juno? Miri named every chicken, but they all look the same to Mo.
Nobody's living here anymore. The hens should be inside. Their tiny lungs stand no chance against the spores.
Does the world have to end for you to come and visit me? Miri
Yes.
jokes at her younger sister, her sarcasm masking her disappointment. Miri tries to reach through and speaks earnestly. It's nice to see you, Mo. I missed you. And she asks Mo to come in for stew. But as if unjustly charged for a crime, Mo defends herself, pushing Miri away. I only came to make sure that you're doing okay. Miri nods. She spent all morning trying to bring her animals inside. She reaches out once more to Mo. I can help you. I'll get ready and I'll come too. No, Mo cuts her off. I'm quicker without you tagging along. I got this. You take care of your chickens.
You can't be doing this by yourself.
They used to be our chickens. Miri snaps in frustration. You used to care. What even am I to you? For Mo, it's just another confrontation on the island's surface. Another angry outburst from her irate sister, making Mo long for the calm and dark below.
Dang. Our character's just pushing everybody away who's trying to make the best of a bad situation.
But for Miri, it is one more ill-fated attempt to get her sister back. If you leave now, I won't be here when you get back. I mean it this time. That one is Fridolin, Mo recalls. The one that runs away.
That animation is ridiculous. Zero says as the glaciers melt, ancient bacteria and fungi are becoming exposed, and some might be more pathogenic to people, so something like this might actually just be around the corner for us. Yeah, I think that's, again, the disturbing part for me, is how realistic a lot of this could be. You know? Doug says, hope that if there is a funky fungi, that I at least have some fun hallucinations before you die from them. Achievement unlocked, the one that runs away. Also, Doug says that's not how you say pollo. They said polo? Is that what I heard when they were doing that? Zero says our character's kind of a jerk. I mean, they also have a lot of burden and responsibility on them.
But it was still preferable to cutting your feet on the rocky beach again.
Not justifying it, but I also get, like, they're overburdened, and it doesn't seem like they feel appreciated for
Miri
the
retrained
sacrifice they're
herself
making.
to play the cello after the fungus ate her arm. Moore never found the right moment to say how impressed she was.
That fungus ate your sister's arm? How are you not masked? I'm just gonna keep going back to that.
Moore remembers watching the stars streak across the sky. Miri's
Have a good
face
one, Athena. Thanks
lit
for stopping
by.
by.
The moonlight, full of wonder, both wrapped up warm in their duvets, their shared silence saying everything they needed. Miri prefers her tea dark and bitter, to wake her in the early hours. Mo would much rather sleep in and stuff herself with the sugary walnut cookies.
They got a whole lot of chickens.
Mo and Miri had a system for the beds, but now Miri always sleeps in the top bunk.
It's 8 out of the 9 memories in this spot. Oh, and I see another one. There we go.
Fridolin will escape again, but he just needs his own space. Mo can sympathize with that.
Only silence between sisters. Remembering Hema. So I guess we're not purifying this island? Because it already wants us to go back onto the ship. Unless it's kind of connected like Bowen and Bevo are, where all the purifiers are on Leusa. And we're gonna go there to get the purifiers. Doug says, give me the bitter tea or none at all. I'm with you there. I actually enjoy bitter flavors in tea. Sarah says, top bunk is overrated. I don't know much about bunks and bunk beds. I never really had to sleep in them, so... Why is the top bunk overrated? Doug says the only thing that the top bunk does is it makes things more dangerous from potential falling from the ladder or bed. Zara says sometimes all you can do is survive.
I
That's
won't
true.
be here when you come back. I'll leave you on this forsaken piece of rock. How many times has Miri threatened to disappear, not once going through with her word? She always comes around in the end.
Until the one time she doesn't. Zara says Mo has some dark thoughts. I don't know if identifying them as dark thoughts is helpful necessarily. I feel like there's definitely a level where he's
For a moment, more
fighting
regrets
something in
not
her
going
head
back
with
to get her
that,
mask.
with the
But
trauma
she's
she's
never been one of
experienced
the
here.
moving backwards. Even in this vision, conjured by the fungus in her lungs, the way out is forward.
Which makes me just want to go backwards, because it's a video game. Never mind. Whee! Skipping. What do I do with this? Duke says this whole game has been trying to lead you and you just keep going the opposite way. No, I keep going the correct way, and I want to go the wrong way so I can get to the things that I need. It literally said the way out is forward. This time, I purposefully went the wrong way. Also, the way out is not forward. Oh, I see what I have to do. Maybe? I was thinking my shadow maybe has to collect it. Yep. Which means I need that shell back here for this one. Sliding the shell. And now we get the key so we can get out of here. Doug says that feeling when you're trying to turn on all the flesh machines, but your sister, who you don't like, said something and then the shrooms kicked in. That's basically what's been happening here. Like, definitely a strange adventure. But it definitely feels like it's also commentating on responsibility and trauma. And feeling responsible for everything. But she's taking pretty much all of this onto herself and pushing everyone away. And turning down the kindness of the wine with her uncle and the meal with her sister. Doug says also
once brought
being the
travelers
only
home,
one with the means to be able to help in the
these
first
islands,
place. True.
and customers to the tavern, now stand still.
But that's also all the more reason why she needs to take care of herself. Since she's the only one with the device to communicate with the holy contraptions. Yeah, and she needs to be able to turn on the air purifiers to stop the spores. It doesn't seem like she has immunity. The island of Lahusa houses 2 air purifiers. Restore both to cleanse this island and Haima. Okay, so it is like the other one. Also 8 memories to find here.
Before she left, the Lightkeeper's wife loved to paint. Moore always admired her skill. Her things were left behind in haste, and he never touched them since.
A can full of ashes and smoked cigarettes.
Moore can see Haima from here. She wonders if the lights are on in their tiny house.
This was once a bridge. It is no longer a bridge, I can tell you that much. Now it's just some rope. Handmade pottery.
The gate to the lighthouse. As long as Moore can remember, the Lightkeeper was always on duty, saving sailors from the sharp rocks surrounding these islands. But since the Great Exodus, he has been drowning, touching glasses with whatever phantoms are left at that watering hole.
Damn. A chain and a padlock are blocking the wheel. Gotta save the sailors from the flare marks? Yeah, for sure. I don't know why I expected that seagull to just randomly poop. The way it was flying just made me feel like it was going to. Electricity stolen from the networks below. Is it really stolen in this environment?
A steep slope awaits inside the cave. Its ground was a friendly acquaintance to many drunk patrons.
Beeberry wine from her uncle's factory. The pickles were popular with visitors. Oh, is this one of the... Let's go, found one.
And Miri has come to her senses. Mo will have some stew.
Okay, good. I just hope your sister's there when you want that stew. Books about music, history, and foreign shores.
She remembers playing with his son, how they would swim between the rocks, how his wife would bring them inside and warm them up with a bowl of soup, and her smile. Moore wonders if he remembers too.
So I have a logistical question. Just curious. How do you drink alcohol with that mask on?
Only a ghostly murmur from under his mask, and a ghastly stench. A key, glimmering in his satchel.
Should I pickpocket the key? Why wouldn't you, to be honest? You took the island's master key. I mean, I could try to wake him up or something. Doug says that man is gone. Any amount of awake would be in the in name only at this point. I suppose that's fair. Is there a way to maybe get this bridge back? That'd be nice. Then I'd be able to cross this without having to go back up. But at the very least I can now open this, which means I can get inside the gate to the lighthouse. Which I also assume is where most of the memories are going to be. Somebody was collecting bug carcasses on the walls, or photos of them at the very least. Broken electrical devices.
A hole in the floor, too big for one man to fill alone. A gaping maw, slowly devouring both man and lighthouse. And still, he stubbornly refuses to accept anyone's help.
Oh, that sounds familiar. Doug had the same thought. Reminds me of someone, Mo, you silly goose. Why you refusing help from the people who care about you, huh? Why are you doing that kind of thing? Doug says, hey, that guy's kind of a dick, she says, looking directly in the mirror. I imagine I'm supposed to do something to mess with this elevator somehow. Yep. Now I should be able to jump across. And we get another memory.
A barbed nostalgia sharply tugs at Moore's heart. I forgot how much I missed the sky and stars. His wife wouldn't risk losing the boy to the blight, but he decided to remain this island's lightkeeper, unable to bear losing what purpose he thought he had.
Sound familiar?
So they set sail without a father.
The kid has no use for this suit where he is now. So I don't have all the memories on this area. Hopefully it's not an issue that I restart this before I get all the memories. As long as I don't leave the island, it should be fine, I think. Good question is, where are the other memories here that I need to get? So I'm still missing 3 on this island. Oh, here's one. That's from that thing I pushed off the top.
A gentle vertigo crawls over Moore's body, the satisfying tingle of light danger. One of her favorite sensations.
6 of 8. I don't want to leave the island yet if I haven't gotten all the memories.
Moore takes in a final breath of Leus's air. Much better. She congratulates herself. Now your chickens can come back out, sister.
Nope, we're not getting on the boat. Got 2 more things to find. Also, I should return that guy's key. If I am able to. Like, dude's gonna wake up and be like, where the hell's my key? That feeling when you get really drunk and some savior kid with a spicy staff steals your key. Basically. But do you have any idea where the remaining memories could be, Doug? Or anybody else who's here? Probably worth exploring the area with the 2 people. That'd be my guess. Which 2 people? Oh, I can return the key. That's cool. There wasn't like an area to climb up somewhere in here, was there? That was some sad sailor music. It really is sad sailor music. Bit unsure. Not able to find a memory here. Was there maybe another area of the lighthouse I didn't get to explore or something? Maybe I missed something there? Because that's where I would have assumed most of the memories were. Doesn't look like there's any other, like, super secret path on the sides. There's not something over here. It's gotta be in the lighthouse, because I've double-checked pretty much everywhere else on the island. I probably missed something obvious, like a extra floor of some kind or something. It's either gotta be here or in the pub, you know? But I'm actually looking here and I don't recognize where there could be one that I'm missing. Because I went up to the top, I got the thing there, I got the one there. There isn't a way down here, right, into the pit, so... Check back at the pub again. Because it's really the only two locations that's here. And I probably missed something really obvious. Are the areas to the left on the first and second floor of the lighthouse? No, there are not. I did check that. Duke says I can barely find my own memories at the best of times. I've got no idea where unless you just continue and they happen elsewhere. No, because the game is structured that you basically go to an area and get everything and then you don't come back. So either I'm missing something blatantly obvious, like an entirely different screen or something that I should be seeing. Or it's like in one of the two locations that I've already been in. Am I able to get back there to that cabin thing back there? Doug says also I'm gonna head from the last little part of the stream, catch y'all in the Discord and whatnot. Yeah, for sure. Probably gonna wrap up after we find these last 2 memories anyway, so not missing too much. I found it. You take care, Doug. Hope you have a good one.
It was their little hideout for Moore and the Lightkeeper's boy, secretly nibbling at the reserves, blaming it on the mice. A pungent, bitter, earthy scent, the little remaining proof of the cows that once roamed the islands.
That's 8 of 8. Alright, so we're just gonna leave the island and then call it there. So while we make our way back to the front of the island, I hope, want to just thank you all for joining me today, and thanks again for the patron who donated this game. It's been a trip so far, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm trying to process a lot of the themes that are going into it, and I'm trying to kind of figure out what this has to do with you know, ecological disasters and how they manifest. You know, like we didn't really go into details in terms of the conversation, but it seems fairly evident that, you know, this is meant to be some sort of catastrophe, at least in terms of the environment and climate of this particular region. And so, you know, it's something that we'll all have to process and deal with in the real world, so it's something that I think is worth keeping in mind, even if we bring it into the next stream. So, next stream, based on how long the game is, I think, supposed to be, we'll probably end up finishing this game up next time. But with that said, I'm gonna take us to the next island here, and I'm gonna ask that if you've enjoyed what you watched here today, that you like the stream, comment, subscribe, do all the things that help the YouTube algorithm, and if you're in a financial place to do so, and only if you're in a financial place to do so, please do consider supporting me on Patreon. It goes a long way to helping the channel and the streams. If you want to donate a game like what happened with this one, you know, feel free to reach out to me, and if it's a game especially that could be streamed on Sundays, I would be more than willing to accept it and potentially stream it. So, let's get on board the ship, and we will make our way. So I'm going to give you all the 5 minutes when we land at our next location, and we'll wrap the stream up there. I hope you all have a good one. Hope you all enjoyed. And until next time, I will see you all around. Oh, wait, our friend is on the boat.
She does not expect gratitude from her sister, or an apology, but Maud does expect to be welcomed home.
Thank you for joining us, Duke. Ill as well, Jaguar, Doug, anyone else who was here earlier, Zero I know was here. It was good having you all here and being able to share this.
Now that the air is safe to breathe again, Miri must have calmed down and gone to make sure that the stew is still warm. Food is always her way of apologizing.
I wonder if her sister is going to be there. we're about to disembark, and that will be a great place for us to end our journey. Thanks again, everyone, for watching, and I'll catch you next stream. Take care, everyone.